The following podcast contains alcohol-enhanced conversations about alcohol, as well as a potential for discussions about topics of dubious, disturbing, possibly offensive, but usually hilarious interest. The opinions stated herein are solely of the persons making them, and any endorsement of these opinions by any other party is not implied. Foul language is likely, but intolerant viewpoints are not. Listener intoxication is advised. Hello and welcome to episode 82 of the Whiskey Tangent Podcast. I'm Scott.
I'm Ed.
And today we're exploring a new whiskey compilation from our friends at Lost Lantern.
Yeah, they always come up with the best stuff.
They do. Of course, we've covered them before on the podcast, namely their vatted American Single Malt in part 3 of our Sourcing Whiskeymentary in 2021, and the 7 phenomenal expressions in their Spring 2024 Midwest collection in episode 72 just last year.
Wow, that was an experience that I have to tell you I enjoyed immensely.
Yes, and hopefully we're doing another one.
Yes.
But because they reach out to us again and their collections are always changing and intriguing, we figured why not do another episode with free whiskey. So this time we have their Spring 2025 collection, and Ed's here to help us get started by listing the 5 different expressions from 5 different distilleries that employed 5 different cask finishes, which we'll be tasting neat and mixing into cocktails tonight.
Thank you, Scott. So part 1, we're going to do something that Scott's called How You Like Them Apples. The Pommeau Cask Rye from Finger Lakes Distilling in New York, Apple Brandy Rye from New York Distilling in New York, and he's going to make a cocktail called the Apple Pie Cocktail, shockingly.
Yeah.
Part 2 is going to be Nut and Honey, which is the Honey Cask Bourbon from Starlight Distillery in Indiana. We know them.
Yep.
The Nocino Cask Bourbon from Watershed Distillery in Ohio, and we're going to make a cocktail out of that called the Black Walnut Manhattan. And then part 3, we're going to do what we call Texas Peat, which would be Tequila Cask Peated single malt from the Andalusia Whiskey Company in Texas. Shout out to Jeff.
That's right.
The cocktail will be called just the Andalusia, which is a variant of a tequila cocktail, the Paloma. All right?
Yeah, so before we get to that description,
all right.
I have from their marketing materials what the spring season collection is all about.
Yeah, give us an overview, Scott, will you?
Yeah. So, for centuries, whiskey makers have used different barrels to impart unique flavors to their spirits, and today, cask finishing has become a key part of whiskey making worldwide. In the U.S., distilleries are increasingly finishing their single malts, bourbons, ryes, and other whiskeys in secondary casks to amplify and enhance existing flavors. Although traditional finishes like sherry, port, and Madeira remain popular, many American distilleries are pushing the boundaries by experimenting with finishes rooted in their local environment, introducing flavors rarely seen in whiskey and becoming part of a new American whiskey tradition.
Nice.
As Lost Lantern co-founder Nora Roper says, the best cask finishes explore and amplify the intricate flavors already inherent in the underlying whiskey, adding surprising and delightful layers of complexity. Since its launch in 2020, Lost Lantern has been dedicated to exploring both traditional and innovative aspects of the whiskey landscape. This spring, the company shines a light on finishes that showcase American whiskey's depth, diversity, and artistry. The entire Lost Lantern Spring 2025 Finish collection is available now at lostlanternwhiskey.com, sealbox.com, select retailers in California, New York, and Massachusetts, and of course, Lost Lantern's tasting room in Virgin, Vermont. And as always, each release is presented at natural cask strength and non-chill filtered with no color added.
Sounds good to me, man.
We actually only have 5 of the 6 whiskeys in their spring collection. The one missing is called the Apple Brandy Cask Finished New Mexico Single Malt from Santa Fe Spirits. I don't know why we only got 5 of the 6, but since we already have an Apple Brandy one, I'm not really upset about it.
Right.
Yeah. So the first one we're going to do, it has the description, the Finger Lakes Distilling's Pommeau Cask Rye.
Perched on the shores of Lake Seneca in upstate New York,
Fancy.
Finger Lakes Distilling is one of the pioneers of the craft spirits movement, founded by Brian McKenzie in 2007. It was an early leader in the country's first wave of new distilleries. The distillery has always committed itself to using local grains and fruits to create distinctive spirits that reflect the bounty of the Finger Lakes region. Best known for its Mackenzie line of whiskeys, Finger Lake Distilling has built a reputation for nuanced, elegant spirits with widely appealing flavor profiles. The Lost Lantern selected whiskey we have tonight is a unique rye whiskey that was finished in a barrel that previously held Pommeau, a blend of apple brandy and fresh apple juice from the nearby Finger Lake Cider House. And that's what we're going to try right now.
That's right. The proof is 91.8, the lowest that we have tonight. The mash is 80% Danko rye, whatever that is, and 20% malted barley. The age is 6 years plus 6 months in the Pommeau cask, and the MSRP is 100. They have 205 bottles of this.
It sounds like Bookham Danko.
Bookham Danko.
90.
That's a boomer joke.
Yeah, seriously.
Bookham Dano.
Yeah, Nora's like, what?
All right, so these are in our number 1 neat glasses. Swirl.
Ooh, the nose is astringent, ethanol forward.
Ooh, it smells like apple skins
Yeah, but
with all that.
absolutely apples there, sure.
But the skins of apples, not necessarily like
Yes.
juicy apple.
No. Kind of like a bitter apple.
Yeah, you bitter apple.
Like my life.
We both had 2 different jokes there.
Even though the apple skins isn't sweet, I do get some sweetness, but it's separate from the apple smell, if that makes sense.
Okay, all right.
I do get a little bit of sugary sweetness, almost like a raisin, too.
Okay. There's a little cinnamon there. Maybe that's just because there's apple and you kind of almost automatically smell cinnamon.
I tasted it. The cinnamon comes through, but it's not a sweet cinnamon. It's a very muted cinnamon, like a cinnamon stick.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so like the bark of the tree cinnamon.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
If anyone doesn't know, that's where cinnamon comes from. Oh, so the astringency that you were smelling does translate to the palate. It's
not
pretty
sweet.
drying.
It's not sweet. It's got a very dry palate, and yet it's not crazy herbaceous. It's kind of neutral. I got to taste it again.
It's in between. It's very intriguing because something that you think was finished in Pommeau, which again was the apple brandy and the apple juice,
And I get that. I taste it.
you think would be
But it's
sweeter.
not as sweet.
No.
And now I'm getting a little bit of herbaceous flavor, a little bit of leather.
Yeah. I mean, it tastes like licking the outside of an apple.
Well, you do that, you freak.
That's what it tastes like.
I'm going to put a few drops of water in. Even at 98, I think you could open it up a bit. Because I still get a strong ethanol presence from it.
Yes. It's definitely hotter than it's, what was it, 91.8?
No, 98.
91.8.
Oh, I thought you said 98.
Yeah, no,
Oh,
yeah.
This is much hotter than 91. Holy
Very
cow.
hot. Yeah. Very hot for its 90.
I'm thinking 98 is about right, but not for 91.8. No.
Yeah. Oh, that does bring sweeter elements out on the nose.
And on the taste as well, the palate.
Oh, yeah. Much sweeter. I almost get a citrus. There's almost a slight sweet orange for me.
I would love to be with them when they were choosing this to see
Yeah.
what they were talking about.
I know.
Because this is very unique. I cannot say for something around 92 proof that I've tasted anything quite like this.
Wouldn't that be great to do what they do? Just go to distilleries and it's like, hey, show us what you got. And they just like, oh, well, we got these like 7 barrels over here that we've been saving because they're kind of odd. And then we taste all of them and we're like, oh my God, I love these.
Yeah. So I think this would be more your cup of tea than me. This reminds me a little bit of the James E. Pepper rye and the fact that it has an incredibly drying finish and it's not overly sweet. And I didn't love that, and you kind of liked it. So where are you at with this?
It is pretty good. It is very stringent on the end, even with the water in it.
Yes.
I can't say that I love it, but it's absolutely drinkable.
And here's the thing, it's unique.
It's very
and I
unique.
think that's what Lost Lantern really tries to bring to their customers is something that they don't find in their local liquor store. And they've been consistent with that.
Yeah.
And like, I just drank it. It was very drinkable. Yeah, it's very drinkable. I just drank it. And I would drink
You
another.
finished it.
I would drink
In fact.
another. Yeah, I killed it. You know me. I killed it right away.
All right, so the tasting notes we have are juicy apple, cinnamon, spice, and plum on the nose with hints of spiced apple cider, warm rye spice, and gentle oak on the palate.
I think it's funny you said plum and I said raisin, and they're kind of cousins in a way. You know what I mean? It's like, in a way, it's like, prune raisin is gray plum. They're in the same family, I feel like.
Praisin. Yeah.
So the next one.
The next one is Opulent Orchard from New York Distilling Apple Brandy Rye. So I have the description of this one. Located in the heart of Brooklyn, which is coincidentally the original hometown of Lost Lantern's founders, Adam and Nora, New York Distilling Company is one of the country's first urban distilleries and a champion of the rebirth of both gin and rye whiskey in the Empire State. Co-founded by a top mixologist and one of the founders of the Brooklyn Brewery, a pioneer of craft brewing in its own right, New York Distilling makes rye whiskey that truly reflects the cooler climates of the Northeast. For this Opulent Orchard release, Lost Lantern selected a unique marriage of 3 different rye whiskeys finished American apple brandy barrels. The result is spice and sweetness in perfect balance. The proof is 115. The mash is 72 rye, 16 corn, 12 malted barley. The age is 7 years, plus an undisclosed amount of time in the apple brandy cask. The price is $90. They have 410 bottles of this. Give it a smell. I feel like this will be similar.
Much more apple sweetness on the nose. This smells like sugar apples to me as opposed to the other
Apple
one.
skins, right.
Right, this is much sweeter on the nose.
It is. I mean, I got the cinnamon again.
True.
Oh, more, I think, than the first.
Yeah, and I've taken a sip and the cinnamon goes all the way through.
Yeah, less herbaceous than before.
Very cinnamony on the palate. See if you agree.
Oh my God, yeah. Jeez.
Like a cinnamon stick.
It's like you sprinkled cinnamon on it.
Yeah, it's really heavy cinnamon. The apple definitely translates, but the apple's less sweet on the palate than it was on the nose, if that makes any sense.
But sweeter on the palate than the first one.
By far.
Yeah. It's a really interesting mix between these two because I was expecting the first one to be sweeter because it had apple juice as part of the original barrel.
Yeah. Wow. This is actually very complex. What's the proof on this?
115.
Wow. It tastes 115 too.
It tastes 115, but yet it's not as hot as the 91.8 was.
For me, it is.
Initially.
For me, it is.
I like this one better.
I like this one better too.
Yeah.
No, without a doubt.
This one's better.
Yeah. I would love to have a cocktail with this one.
Wait for it. Yeah, this is sweeter. It tastes like an apple pie. It really does.
But not that sweet. Like, it still has herbaceous notes to it.
Well, no, but the whole experience
Cinnamon,
of an apple pie.
apples, sugar.
And the crust.
Yeah, there's some breadiness to this.
Yeah, I'm definitely putting some water in this one because it's 115.
I did too. I wish I'd done that earlier because it was kicking my ass a bit. They do taste a little raw to me. Like, they don't taste very old. You said it's 7 years old?
7. And the first one was 6.
It doesn't taste like 7 years old to me. And it's interesting.
And maybe that's because of the apple. Because it kind of belies your palate. It like tricks you into thinking, like, this is so sweet, it can't be aged.
Water helped this immensely. See if you agree. Immensely. Like, so much more sweetness came out in fruit notes. So much more apple came out.
Way much more sweetness came out than the first one.
I don't think I've ever had a whiskey that water helped it more than this one.
And it's spicy.
Yeah,
like the
on the
cinnamon
finish.
spice turns to like an oaky spiciness.
Yeah.
Spiciness? Is that a word?
I don't know.
Spiciness. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it could be like a spice girlness. Like, dude, tell me what you want, what you really, really want.
If you want to be my lover, gotta get with my friend.
Oh my God, this is getting better and better each time I sip
It is getting better. This one is head and shoulders above the first one.
Water helped this immensely. Oh my gosh. Like, I can drink this all night now with a globe on it or some water.
This is terrific. Even though it is sweeter than the first one, and my want, as you said, you thought that I would like the first one better than you, and I kind of did, but I like this one a lot better than the first one.
Yes, this is very good.
It's more complex, as we were saying earlier.
This first one's fine, but this is better.
Yeah. The tasting notes, fresh apples, rye spice, and black licorice on the nose. That's interesting. With bursts of cinnamon applesauce, fresh apple pie, warm oak, and wintergreen mint on the palate, leading into a spicy and peppery finish. Mint. Interesting.
Now that I've finished it and I'm sitting here, I get like a residual mint on my tongue.
Like a cooling sensation.
You get it too now, right?
Yep, I do.
I didn't focus on it. I wasn't looking for it, but it's absolutely there. And sometimes it's weird. Like when you get a tasting note, some people say you go and look for it. And I agree. But sometimes you realize it was there. Like, I'm like, oh, yeah, there it is. Like, you're right.
And this is the reason why we do the tasting notes from either they give us or it's a professional out there, because we can taste what we taste. But also, other people out there are also tasting things. At first, in the first year, it was kind of a crutch, we'll admit. But after that, it just kind of informs.
We definitely hit 50% of this.
Yeah.
And then there's other nuances like, oh, I didn't get that. I didn't get peach. I didn't get nutmeg. But, oh, okay, I can taste it now.
Right. So the two notes that we didn't initially get, the black licorice on the nose, I mean, a little, but like the wintergreen mint on the palate, we got it after the finish.
Absolutely, yeah.
So now we're going to take as a cocktail made with the Pommeau cask rye.
Nice.
That I've made previously.
Nice.
And I'm just going to go grab it from the fridge.
Cocktail time.
All right. So this is the apple pie cocktail that I just got offline somewhere. I used 2 ounces of the Pommeau cask rye and a half an ounce of cinnamon syrup that I made, which is just dropping 2 cinnamon sticks in a half cup of sugar and half cup of water, boiling it, letting it cool, and 2 dashes of Angostura bitters.
Nice, Scott. Apple, brandy, rye, cocktail.
I got the idea to do cocktails for this
Wow.
one because we did 7 last time, and I figured we only had 5 this time. Let's do cocktails because they say on the website, oh, you can drop these into cocktails. And I'm like, that's interesting because you don't usually put cask strength stuff in cocktails.
Well, the Pommeau is a 91.8, so it's not that bad.
Right. Yeah.
Kind of like a traditional Missler, I guess.
Yeah, it is. The next ones will be higher. Oh, it smells awesome, right? It smells like
It smells like an apple pie. It's amazing. Apple, sugar, cinnamon.
it smells like apple brandy.
Right. And it tastes like an apple pie, too. You know me, I already sipped it.
Oh,
Not a lot of flavors here. Apple, sugar, cinnamon, some breadiness.
a bit of big red gum.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Yep.
This is a delicious cocktail.
So the cinnamon comes in 2 ways. It's a sugar cinnamon in the beginning.
Yes.
And then like
A hot cinnamon later.
like a big red gum later.
Yeah.
So there's 2 cinnamons on this sip. Wow. I'm almost done mine. It's shocking.
Oh, shocking. You don't gulp. I like it.
And drink.
Yeah, wow. Okay. Really good. All right. So we do agree in this round that the Opulent Orchard beat out the Finger Lakes.
A little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah, sure.
yeah.
But the cocktail made with the Finger Lakes
That's right.
was amazing.
Terrific.
Actually better than the other 2 things that I drank.
Better than the 2 whiskeys.
Exactly. The cocktail was spectacular. Let's just drink cocktails the rest of the way. All right, we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back with the Honey Cask Bourbon and the Nocino Cask Bourbon.
Yeah. Nocino. Say it like you're Italian.
Nocino.
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 Stromboli.
We'll be right back. Okay, we are back.
Hey, everybody.
After a long break, we're going to do part 2 of our Lost Lantern Spring Collection 2025 finished whiskeys called Nut and Honey. The first one being the honey part, and Ed has a description of the Starlight Distillery's Honey Cask Bourbon.
Right, we have a good relationship with Starlight. We've had a lot of the good products from them. Ted Huber started Starlight Distillery in 2001 to capture the flavors of Indiana grain and fruit from the place his family has farmed for 7 generations. Once again,
Wow.
Starlight Distillery is part of Huber's Orchard and Winery, an Indiana institution since 1843, everybody.
Yep, there you go.
Pre-Civil War. And is in fact a revival of a family distilling legacy. The Hubers were distilling brandy in the area way back in the early 1800s, but today they make a wide range of whiskeys as well. And we've tried several of them.
Yes.
Starlight is also famous for its finishes, and the single cask we have to taste today shows why. They took their regular bourbon and finished it in a cask that previously held barrel-aged honey from their own farm, resulting in a spirit that burst with summer freshness.
Nice. The proof is 110. The mash bill is a 2 bourbon blend. The first one is 60 corn, 20 rye, 20 malted barley, and the second is 51% corn, 20 rye, 9 wheat, and 20 malted barley.
Wow.
The age is 4 years originally and 6 years in the honey casks. I'm sorry, 6 months in the honey
I was
cask.
going to say, what?
That was wow.
Wow.
And the MSRP is $80. They have 260 bottles of this.
Okay. And what is the overall proof of it? 110?
110.
Okay.
So much floral honey on the initial sniff.
Yes.
Holy
like
shit.
honeysuckle and
Yeah.
flowers and honey is what I'm getting.
When
Wow.
chicken nuggets, when I was a kid,
Yes.
when they first came out, they had the honey, barbecue, other things, but the honey was the one that I really gravitated to.
Yeah.
And this smells like that honey that I had on a chicken nugget when I was 10.
Well, or 3 hours ago when we went to dinner and we had fried chicken sliders and they gave us honey as one of the sides to dip it into.
Yeah.
And I dipped mine into honey.
Yeah.
So it's almost like that because it's honey.
This is incredible. I didn't think it was going to be that honey-ish.
Right. But I'm getting a lot of flowers.
Flowers, yes.
Like
It's
a
so
floral, a very floral bouquet with this.
So this is a bourbon. In the previous round, we had 2 ryes, which I didn't really note that. And in this part, they're both bourbons.
This is the best thing I've sipped today.
Okay, you already sipped it. Okay.
Yeah, it's very dense and keeps going.
Oh, interesting. It's so...
Wow.
I was going to say it's so sweet, but it isn't so sweet. because
No.
you get that herbaceousness that kind of cuts through the
It's
sweetness.
sweet in the very initial palate, and then it flows into an herbaceousness and finishes very spicy.
Yeah. Ooh, there is a spiciness at the end there.
There is. Wow.
And it's sweet enough.
Yes,
It's sweet enough.
No doubt, but it's not like a lot of times you get honey infused whiskeys or finished whiskeys. It's very one note.
Yeah. I'm getting a little bit of Honey Nut Cheerios because the graininess is coming in a little bit for
cereal's
me.
coming in?
Yeah. Yeah. And I loved Honey Nut Cheerios
Yeah.
as a kid. That was another one.
And as now, by the way, because you still eat it and I eat it too.
Oh, that's true. I have Honey O's from Trader Joe's.
Right.
That's their,
Yeah.
generic version.
I have 3 cereals that hit my house normally. It's well, 4. There's the Special K fruit and yogurt.
Okay.
There's the Raisin Bran, Honey Nut Cheerios, and then Cinnamon Toast Crunch. When no one else is looking, when I'm just being bad.
The big family size, the big big face on the back.
Exactly. It's like lovely. It's like, oh yes.
I know Cinnamon Toast
So
Crunch
I eat
is
Raisin
great.
Bran and then I pour Cinnamon Toast Crunch on whatever milk is left. Yeah.
My guilty pleasure is peanut butter Captain Crunch.
Captain Crunch.
I love that, man.
Absolutely.
So good.
So the honey cask bourbon from Starlight is a winner.
All right, so going back to the
first-
two
yes.
honey ones that we tasted last season.
Yes.
We tasted the honey cask rye from Blue Note
Yes.
and the honey dew from Garrison Brothers. Where would you place in that context? I mean, because they're so different.
Between the two, because
Yeah.
it's not as sweet, but it makes it more complex.
Yeah, because the honeydew it was in the 80s. But Garrison Brothers has that, unique Texas thing that we don't always love, but we do love on the Garrison
Right.
Brothers.
We love it on the Garrison, but not the Balcones.
Right, and that made it very unique in comparison to the Blue Note was extremely balanced.
It was sweeter than this.
It was sweeter than
It
this.
was simpler. And
it was a little cheap.
I had a Concocted
Cheaper.
Creek one that was
Oh, that's right, you did.
very, very good. But they said that when they put the whiskey in there, the honey was pouring out of the barrel, like onto the floor. Like,
They do ryes, right? So that was a rye.
yeah. This is very good.
Yeah, I really like this one because it does have that peppery spice, both on the initial palate and the finish. Like, because I only tasted it on the finish initially, but as I drink it more, I'm getting it on the initial palate.
A lot of time honey whiskeys are novelties. This tastes like a really good whiskey that happened to be put in honey.
Yeah.
Not was good because it was put in honey.
I'm getting a little cinnamon on this as well. I'm going to drop some water in.
Yeah, you should do that. I did already.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Put a little bit more in.
Getting a little regurge, as Gabe says.
I don't know why I got to bring him into it.
Okay. I'm getting more of the grain.
Yeah. After water went in, it tampered down some of the heat.
Yeah.
And it did make it a little bit sweeter, a touch, but it actually made it more grainy, more
Yes.
cereally. Maybe even like a shortbread or a cracker.
Oh, yeah. Got much more of the Honey Nut Cheerio thing
Yeah.
than I had gotten
So
before.
what tasting notes did you
Tasting notes. Okay, so these are all theirs. Fresh wildflower honey, white flowers, roses on the nose.
get? We said it was crazy floral.
It was. And honeyed yet not overly sweet palate.
Correct?
Yep, that's it.
That's
all
all
got.
they gave us?
Yeah,
all right, well.
that's all they got.
Let us tell you what else is there. There's cereal. There's some there's some
Honey Nut Cheerios.
There's some shortbread and cracker and
A little cinnamon, I
a
think.
little cinnamon at the end. It's on my tongue right now, and I'm done drinking it.
Gosh, this is good.
Yeah, this is the best one we've had so far. And once again, none of them have been overly sweet yet.
They haven't.
It's been very interesting. If you like a drying, herbaceous palate and finish, these are the whiskeys for you. Like,
Yeah, so we should talk about that because sometimes people think finished whiskeys are too sweet.
No, not
And
in
none
this
of
case.
these have been so
No.
far.
Like I said, it's not finishing for the sake of finishing.
Right.
It's adding a little bit of a nuance to a whiskey that's already crafted. All of these
Exactly.
are.
And that's what Nora was saying. It's like they finished them in barrels that would accentuate tasting notes that are already
Correct.
there. All right, so the next one we're doing, the second one in this part is the nut part, the Watershed Distillery's Nocino Cask Bourbon. Founded in 2010, Watershed Distillery's meticulous production methods, commitment to local ingredients, and innovations with grain have resulted in an impressive range of spirits. Based in Columbus, Ohio, the distillery has developed an incredibly devoted statewide following.
Wow.
It also owns and operates one of the best restaurants in all Columbus at its distillery, making Watershed uniquely well situated at the intersection of whiskey and food. Lost Lanyard hand-selected the whiskey we now have in our neat glasses, which was first aged in new oak and then finished for even longer in a cask that previously held Watershed's own Nocino Black Walnut liqueur. The proof is 126.6. It's the highest we have tonight.
Wow.
The mash is not disclosed. It's aged 3 years, 8 months in new oak, and then 4 years, 7 months in the Nocino cask. So more than 8 years overall. The MSRP is 90. They have 200 bottles of this. I feel like this is going to be completely different than we've had.
I would think, based on everything you said. I mean, I get like a nut flavor, but I guess I'm supposed to.
On the nose, it's very strange.
Yeah, it's a strange nose, but
I'm going to cover and swirl again.
walnut is a distinct nose. You know, I eat walnuts a lot. I don't know what that means, but I do.
That's a weird statement
I
to
do
make.
eat walnuts in my salads. So,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
and Lord knows I eat a lot of salads.
All right, so it has that dry earthiness that a walnut has on the nose.
I don't want to say dirt, but it's like earth.
Yeah.
It's not sweet.
There's a particular sourness on the nose. Like not off-putting or
No,
anything,
no.
but
I get it too. It's not off-putting.
it's a touch of sour.
from like
From what? I don't
from
know.
What though? It's weird.
Okay.
Let's
Oh,
taste it.
oh.
You got something?
I did get something, but I can't really describe it. It almost smells like, I want to say papery, but that's not quite what I mean.
No. I get that.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a wood,
Woodish.
woodish.
Yeah. It's like a wet oak, maybe?
Wow.
It's an intriguing nose.
Take a taste of it. It's so
Okay.
different. It's like devoid of sweetness in the first half of the sip, and then there's a finish. That was,
I don't know what that is. What did I just drink?
what is this?
What is this concoction in our
I'd
glasses?
love to know what tasting notes they tell us we should just taste.
I know. I'm not looking at them.
Don't look at them yet. Hold on.
This is, again, another unique expression. I've never tasted anything like
I
this.
mean, it is dense and herbaceous and wow. It's again drying and again devoid of. Did they just go for like this same profile, but not off-putting? That's what's
Right.
weird about this. Like, it's not in my flavor profile, which is a candy-noted bourbon, but it's so interesting.
It's got that wet oak and yet like covered in like sugar. I'm struggling to taste the walnut
Really, bro?
because I smelled the walnut. I'm not sure I taste it.
I'm tasting.
Do you
the
taste
walnut,
it?
Yes. You know the candied walnuts that are in sundaes? Mm-hmm. They come in the jar. Like
Yes.
It's almost like that, but only for an instant, and then it goes to a drying nut.
Okay.
But it's there in the first.
I'm glad you
hard
said
palate.
only for an instant because I did just taste it as you were talking
Yeah,
and it was
it goes
gone.
away.
It's like walnuts in
Yeah.
a sugar syrup.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So I got that flavor on my first sip, and then it goes away like a cleaver, and then it's left with this herbaceous leather tobacco.
Oh my God. The woody tobacco notes
Wow.
on the finish of this is unbelievable.
Oh my god, we should make a cocktail with this. Let's do that.
We should. All right, wait. Let's do the tasting notes.
What did they say we should taste?
Okay, interesting. Marzipan,
All right, which is an almond paste.
butterscotch,
Okay.
and sweet oak
all right.
on the nose. Dried mint, warm oak, toffee, and candied walnut on the palate.
Oh my god. Well, we're killing it, and these are ones we've never approached before.
It's very good. It's unique.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
They went out and found unique flavor profiles. All four of these have been something I've never had exactly before.
I know.
And for someone who has had somewhere between 450 and 500 whiskeys,
Yes, we've had a lot.
to have four in a row where I'm like, I don't know where to put this.
It's like I've never tasted
And I
anything
think
like
Adam
this.
and Nora are laughing at me like, exactly, bro. Like I said, we like Kinsey in Philly. Their Zinfandel finish, the Zinfandel runs the whiskey, right? Like,
Yeah.
it carries the flavor profile.
Right, which isn't necessarily bad.
No, it's traditional, I think. But these finishes just kiss it. Like,
Yeah,
bah.
yeah,
Like, gives you
yeah.
a little, like, here's a little honey, here's a little walnut. Go figure out what this is. And the whiskeys themselves are crafted individually to be unique profiles.
And I have to imagine that this Nocino Black Walnut liqueur must be pretty subtle because they finished it for 4 years and
Yeah.
7 months.
Yeah.
In that cask, like it must
Right.
have needed that to impart what they got, right?
That's
like,
fair.
Like 6 months was the honey cask. This was 4 years and
Yeah.
7 months. That's insane.
All four of these, particularly number 2, 3, and 4, are ones that are spectacular, but in a completely unique way.
The first 3, we definitely would have expected them to be a little bit sweeter than they were.
Yes, but they weren't.
Yeah. And this one, where you would think it wasn't sweet,
Yeah.
actually has some sweetness on it.
Absolutely. So
It's crazy.
So we made a cocktail with the Nocino.
Nocino, yeah. This is the Black Walnut Manhattan.
Cocktail time. What's in it, Scott?
It's 2 ounces of the Nocino cask bourbon, that we were just drinking,
Thank you, Adam and Nora.
an ounce of Koki sweet vermouth, Di Torino, the one that we love, and 2 dashes of black walnut bitters.
Bought fresh tonight, though I kind of like the Carpana Antiqua vermouth personally, but the Koki is delicious.
Right, the Carpana Antica has a little bit more vanilla notes. Koki is a little more
bitter
and fruitier.
Like Scott.
Both fruitier and bitter.
Right. So let's give it a try.
Yeah. And by the way, the last cocktail was fucking fire. All off air. We're like finishing it and drinking and like, this is awesome.
Wait till you taste this one. Oh my God. The bitters and the whiskey go together like crazy.
Ooh.
I've never had a cocktail like this.
Oh, that's nice.
This is a delicious cocktail.
So I tasted like a cherry cranberry thing.
Man.
The fruitiness that you can taste is
popping all over the place. It's got to be the Koki.
That's the Koki.
Which is crazy because Koki is not sweet and fruity to me. It's kind of a little bit bitter.
What I tasted was cherries and cranberries with the nuts.
It's like a holiday stuffing. This is amazing. So take the Nocino and get some Koki and a little black walnut bitters.
Yeah.
And you will have yourself a tremendous cocktail.
Because we did taste the black walnut bitters on its own off air. Mm-hmm. And it's super bitter and super like
strong.
Nutty. Yeah.
But with this cocktail, Scott, oh my gosh, it's delicious.
Because it's only 2 dashes, and with a full ounce of the Koki,
Yeah.
You get the sweetness, and you're right that the bitterness of the Koki is completely gone.
Right.
And it's taken over by the black walnut bitters, and it's balanced.
Once again, Adam and Nora are out there doing God's work, like finding these whiskeys. And if you're anywhere near Vermont, go over to their tasting room at Lost Lantern. If not, I think you have a computer and internet where you are, or a phone. Jump online and order one of these. Listen to what we say and decide the one that you like the best and make a cocktail with it, or just drink it straight. Drink it right out of the bottle on the way back from the post office, whatever you want to do. They have such a passion for whiskey.
Oh, wait, I got a call from the lawyers. The Whiskey Tension Podcast does not condone drinking while driving.
Right, drink at the post office, then drive home. But anyway.
The Whiskey Tension Podcast does not condone drinking whiskey before driving.
Take an Uber to the tasting room in Lost Lantern, drink there, and then take an Uber home. All right, Scott, are we okay with the lawyers? Can I keep talking?
The Whiskey Tension Podcast approves.
We have one more whiskey to taste that they were nice enough to send us. We've been saving it for last because the Tequila Cask Peated single malt.
It's so different than
Andalusia.
Everything else.
I mean, we are excited to try this, and we are going to take a quick break to wash some glass. So we'll be right back.
Okay, we are back with part 3 of our Lost Lantern episode. This part we're calling Texas Pete.
Yes.
Because the whiskey is from Andalusia Whiskey Company, Tequila Cask, Peated, Texas. Single malt.
We thank Adam and Nora for including us in this release of theirs, and we love being a part of it. They've never let us down.
Yeah, and Ed has a description of this whiskey.
The Andalusia Whiskey Company was founded by 2 expert brewers. It has rapidly become an important and innovative voice in American single malt, located in Blanco, Texas. Their whiskeys truly reflect the climate and character of Texas Hill County. Andalusia's single malts, distilled on a handmade copper pot still, include triple distilled whiskeys, peated single malts, and single malts made with oak, mesquite, and apple smoked barley. A nod to Texas barbecue. In 2021, Whiskey Advocate listed one of their whiskeys in their top 20 whiskeys of the year list. Oh, hell, okay. Holy shit, that's nice. Making Andalusia one of the first Texas distilleries and one of the youngest distilleries to receive such an honor. The unique single cask we're about to drink was aged in a barrel that previously held Striker, an Andalusia single smoked with Texas wood, which was then finished in a añejo tequila cask to create a truly nuanced whiskey.
Right. The proof of this is 122.4. The mash bill is 100% malted barley, 10% of which was peated in-house using Irish peat moss. The age is 3 years in new oak, plus 6 months in the tequila cask. The MSRP is $100. They made 150 bottles of this.
It's funny, I'm getting a black licorice anisette nose on this right away.
I see that.
Not sweet, but a little black licorice in a raw form.
So raw. Almost to the point where it's...
Something else.
Right.
Almost to the point where Ed is wrong.
No, but it's like the most licoricey licorice that you could licorice.
Right.
Right?
Like black leather licorice. It's like leathery and licorice at the same time.
Black leather licorice. Yes.
But there's no sweetness on the nose.
No.
It's devoid of sweetness.
Devoid.
I'm trying to get the tequila notes.
Oh, I can smell tequila.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, like that añejo.
That acrid tequila note that is only tequila. It's a base note.
Well, first of all, it's a single malt. Okay, so let's talk about that. It's also a peated single malt. So
Yes.
I'm getting
Smokiness.
some notes of the smokiness. I'm getting some nose of the...
Oh, I mean, it smells like a mezcal
Yeah,
a bit.
getting some mezcal mixed with like a traditional peated scotch. It's a weird blend.
And that's the funkiness that we said, the black leather licorice.
They've chosen the most strange collection for the freaking spring. This is a deep winter collection for me. It's like the January collection.
They do have a fall collection. Maybe we'll do the fall collection.
When was the Midwest?
That was spring last year.
Well, that was amazing.
Yeah. These are also terrific. Like we said, the uniqueness of these previously. This is another incredibly unique whiskey.
What's the proof?
It's 122.4.
Fucking strong, bro.
Yeah. It's not as strong as the 126.6.
All right.
of the,
Well, it's 2 points, but I mean, it's fucking strong, bro.
of the Nocino.
Jesus. It's strong as hell.
I'm not arguing with you.
Yo, aren't you?
Maybe I am.
I put a couple of drops of water in just to try to get it down to like 120.
I haven't even tasted it. Did you taste it?
No.
Okay. I'm getting like, sometimes you get with Scottish single malts, those tropical notes like papaya and mango and peach. I'm getting all that plus the smoke.
How many bottles is this? Do we know yet? We don't know yet.
We do know. They have 150 bottles of this.
Okay. All right. Oh, wow.
Woo!
Wow, that's really good. On the front, it's sweet, and then there's a huge herbaceous and smoky peated finish.
There's like a saline, salty kind of Worcestershire thing going on there.
Wow, I got to take another sip. I need a minute. Scott, I need a minute. Back off me. Wow, this is different, man. Smoke on the finish is deep.
Smoke on the finish.
Lost Lantern is the bomb. That is one of the most crazy whiskeys I've ever had in my life.
Wow.
A Tequila Cask peated single malt. Who the hell thought that would be a good
Happening
idea?
right now. What is this?
Who thought that was something you should do? Wow.
Apparently, Andalusia Whiskey Company did.
I wish everybody we knew who drank whiskey was here to drink this right now. Unbelievably strange.
So interesting. So we're not big Scotch fans, right? We're not big peaty Scotch fans.
No.
But we do like American single malts. So this kind of goes into the middle of a peaty Scotch and a American single malt by way of Mexico. This is insane on my palate. Like this takes me into so many different...
It's not an Ardbeg.
No.
It's nothing that's...
No.
That or what's it, Lafroy. It's not that smoky and off-putting.
This takes me in so many different directions. This is unreal. This experience that I'm having right now.
So I'm getting vanilla shortbread. Not a lot of fruits, but I'm getting very vanilla, but a breadiness.
Here's what I'm getting. This is my tasting note. Ready?
Yep.
A bowl of Froot Loops set on fire.
All right. Well, I mean, I said bread. I said vanilla shortbread. I don't know if that's in the same ballpark, but I got
Froot Loops set on fire. That's my tasting note. I'm standing by
I got
that.
one sip left. Let me see what I got.
You only have one sip left? Oh, I'm so sad for you. Because I poured the rest they gave us into a cocktail that we're having.
I know. I took a big sip.
It's so interesting. God, this is incredible.
The finish is very traditional peated scotch in a good way. Though it's not my favorite thing, I'm a mature enough adult to know what's good. And it's every bit as good as McCarthy's, which is an American single malt that I'm familiar with.
Yeah. Which has a little smoky character to it.
The smokiness of this, strangely, is not off-putting to me, which I'm not a big peated person, but wow.
I don't know. Maybe with all the experience that we've had, and we're being introduced to so many different taste profiles, maybe we're sliding into liking peated.
More tolerance.
Yes, a tolerance for it.
I'm able to tell this is a great whiskey.
This is so good.
I've swallowed the last sip, and now on the extended finish, I have smoke and peat. But there was some fruit notes at the end. There was some dark fruit notes.
Dark fruit notes?
Yeah, there was. Very dark, like a plum.
I was getting the lighter, sort of spicy, like the peach and the apricot, tropical kind of thing. I got dried
apricot.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nothing vibrantly sweet, but a dull sweet.
Yeah. Right. So it was like an apricot, but not the sweetness of an apricot. It was that bites you in the back of your tongue.
Wow.
apricot.
What was their tasting notes?
Oh, yeah.
Do we hit anything? Because that was a really strange thing for me to taste.
Okay, this is interesting. So rich butterscotch and delicate smoke on the nose.
I can see butterscotch.
But delicate smoke for sure. Fresh grass, which is definitely there. Yes. Hints of vanilla cream and a deep, complex smokiness on the palate.
Yes.
Oh,
wow.
This is so intriguing.
I mean, I would buy a bottle of this.
This is incredible.
Just to dance with it for a while because I've never had anything quite like this.
Right, this is so not in our wheelhouse.
And I don't know that there's many American single malts that are this peaty. And I think that Andalusia alone could live off of just this, especially since single malts have become their own thing. And every company is going to be rushing a single malt to market. Yeah. I think Andalusia needs to make more of this and get out in front of it because except for McCarthy's, there's not that many smoky mainstream American single malts. They're all kind of very not peated.
Yeah. And hats off to Adam and Nora for picking this particular expression because this is, again, we've tasted 4 incredibly unique expressions. This is the most unique thing I've ever tasted.
Right. In order we tasted them, they got more interesting each one, I feel like.
Yeah.
And you made a cocktail with this?
I did.
What did you do with it?
All right. So there's a cocktail called the Paloma, which is Spanish for dove, and it's a tequila-based cocktail most commonly prepared by mixing tequila, lime juice, and grapefruit-flavored soda.
Okay.
And served on the rocks with a lime wedge and an optional salt rim.
Ooh, okay.
Right. So I made this, and I'm calling it the Andalusia in honor of a distillery. And I used 2 ounces of the Tequila Cask peated single malt that we've been sipping on.
Right, this one.
Plus 2 ounces of grapefruit juice, a half an ounce of lime juice, a teaspoon of sugar. I'm going to shake all of that with ice. Yeah. I'm going to pour that into our glasses.
Into my mouth.
I'm going to go pour 2 ounces of club soda on top.
All right, let's do it.
Yeah.
Cocktail time.
Okay, so I have shaken up the Andalusia cocktail once again. 2 ounces of the Tequila Cask peated single malt, 2 ounces of grapefruit juice, half an ounce of lime juice, and a teaspoon of sugar. Although you're supposed to put, as the Paloma does, the club soda on top, and we do have sparkling water. Do you want to do that, or you just want to taste it without that?
Let's take a sip before and then do that. But grab it. Yeah, absolutely grab it. Okay.
All right, so I have it if we think we need it. I mean, on the nose, so much grapefruit.
It's all grapefruit on the nose.
Oh, but a little smoky.
Well, you know what? Yeah, let's do it. Let's put the 2 ounces of the club soda on top.
I like it. It's a little juicy, though.
It's right? Yeah. I mean, they wanted us to do it, so let's do it.
All right.
It's a variation on the Paloma. Good. That was like 1.5 ounces. Good. No, I'm just saying. It's not that much. Wow.
Oh, I like the fizziness.
Yeah.
I like that.
I don't know that I like it as much as the Black Walnut Manhattan, but it's really good.
It's refreshing.
It's funny because I don't like peated single malts that much, but I kind of miss it because it's kind of mutes it a bit.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I know, right?
It's almost like we should do like 1 ounce of grapefruit juice and a half ounce of lime juice. Like the whiskey got kind of washed out.
Yeah, the smokiness that we don't always love, that we did really like in this, is lost in the cocktail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we should have done less juice and more whiskey, but I always feel that way. So,
I mean, I have some whiskey. You want to pour a little bit of it?
Yeah, we still have to, yeah.
I'm going to pour a little bit.
A little more of it? Here we go.
Yeah, you'll pour a little bit in there.
Oh, that'll help, yeah.
There you go.
More of the peated single malt.
Stir that in there.
From Andalusia. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, it definitely needs to cut the juice down on that. But I think if you go 2 ounces of the whiskey, 1 ounce of grapefruit, and a half ounce of lime, and I don't really think you need the club soda. I take that back.
No, I don't think you really need that either.
No,
but that's the Paloma.
It waters it down too much.
Yeah, wait a minute. So I feel like that moment in Step Brothers where they had a connection. It's like, did we just become best friends? Did we just become best friends with peated single malts?
No, but this was...
No, I think we did.
This was, it was a special moment for us. So far, it's single peated malted, like -20 and +1. Like we found one we liked. We are going to be exploring single malts a lot more in 2025 and 2026.
Yeah,
because
definitely.
they become a new genre. So for Andalusia to be having such a interesting smoked peated single malt, it's not overly smoked, but it's a kiss. It's a kiss of smoke.
It's like the Lagavulin ear that we had a
but
few years ago.
The peated's that strong, but not the smoke.
Yeah, okay.
If that makes any sense.
Right, it's more earthy than smoky. Yes.
So once again, I'm not trying to beat a dead horse here, but Scott and I have drank 500 whiskeys in our life. And 300 and how many, Scott?
374.
On the podcast. So to get 5 in a row that we're like, what the hell are we drinking, is a nod to Lost Lantern's creativity and the tenacity they put into their search and journey for whiskeys.
Right. So $3.79 right now.
Yeah, these are all bizarre to us, but in
the
a
best
very
way.
good way.
Yeah.
I love being startled. I love being challenged. I love
Exactly.
being like, what am I drinking here? And somehow Adam and Nora have come up with 5 of them. All of these have been like, what?
Yeah. This is the most unique episode I think we've ever done.
I've never had 5 whiskeys on an episode where each one was a challenge to me to interpret what I was tasting.
Exactly.
And I was getting fatigued by it. Actually, I just want a nice little bourbon that I could it's
I know.
caramel,
Vanilla, caramel,
butterscotch,
bacon,
creme brulee.
baking
But no,
spices.
No, we had none of that. All these are amazing. If I could choose one to buy, I think it might be the last one because it's just the weirdest one I've ever had in my life.
Okay, yeah. So let's sort of like rank the 5. Do you think the last one is the best?
I wouldn't say the best. I think the Nocino's the best.
Okay.
In my personal opinion. I would go Nocino, the Tequila Cask Peated Single Malt, the Honey Cask Bourbon, the Apple Brandy Rye, and the Pommeau.
I don't hate that order.
Yeah, right? It's pretty close to what you're right.
Yeah, the Nocino was so interesting.
Yeah.
I may put it number 1 above the Tequila Cask.
Okay.
Some days.
That's fair. Well,
Honestly,
didn't I choose that number 1?
You did.
I said 4, 5, 3, 2, 1.
Right. Oh, all right then.
Yeah, so we're right. There we are. Okay, good for you.
Wait, so in conjunction with that, I would say that the tequila was the most interesting.
Yes.
So this is the reason why I chose that last, because
Yeah.
I knew it was going to be the most unique.
This would have ruined my palate for anything else.
Exactly.
I'm still tasting it right now.
Had to taste this last.
For sure.
Yeah. And the apple ones were great.
Oh my God, yes.
All right, I'm blown away. That's what I'm going to say. I'm blown away by this episode.
Yeah.
The whiskeys that we tasted.
Yeah, I was just going to say the Midwest whiskeys they did were psychotically good. But during the Midwestern episode, they weren't blowing me away as far as what I've had before. They were just elite.
Yeah.
These, every single one was kind of different to what I've had before.
But you're right. That Nocino was the most unique thing I've ever tasted. And
Yes.
the tequila coming up as a close second.
The Nocino cocktail was also one of the most unique things I've ever had. And the Tequila Cask Peated Single Malt was one of the top 5 out of 374 whiskeys. Top 5 unique whiskeys I've ever drank on the podcast.
Yeah.
So thank you so much to Nora and Adam for sending it to us.
Incredible.
And just for what you do, because I don't know if people realize what you guys do. They travel the country and they find barrels, bring them back to Vermont, and they just give them to us.
They foster these relationships
Yes.
with the distillers at all of these small craft distilleries.
Yes.
That's what Lost Lantern means. They're shining a light
Yes.
on the lost distilleries in America. And they just find these incredible, unique barrels.
Right. And if Andalusia gets their shit together, the single malt craze is coming to America. Not to mention, with all the tariffs going on, we don't know if Scotch is going to be limited or whatever. Peated single malts could be even more important.
You're right, Ed.
I would start putting as much peated single malt in barrels as I could because we have no idea what the future holds.
Yeah. Thank you, Amy from 1027 Communications, for reaching out to us and sending us these samples.
Yeah.
On behalf of Adam and Nora, we've talked to Adam and Nora before. We decided not to talk to them about this particular thing, but maybe we should have.
Maybe we should have, because I would love to know what they thought about this, and I now regret not taking the extra step.
Yeah.
And it's no disrespect to them.
No.
We've talked to them 2 or 3 times, and we'll talk to them again sometime in the future. We just thought we'd just highlight what they were doing because we've been really busy. So go to Lost Lantern quickly, because these do not last. We tried to get bottles the last time they came out with them,
And we did get some.
and we got some, but we got shut out of others.
Yes.
And
You never know which ones are going to go.
that's right. So for the Whiskey Tangent Podcast, I'm Ed.
I'm Scott.
Cheers, everybody.
Later.